Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into blood sugar. It's one of those topics where there's just so much conflicting advice floating around, it's hard to know what to believe. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but just not seeing the results, well, this one's for you. Let's get into it.
So let's kick things off with this idea. Think about it. You wake up, you have your healthy breakfast, you think you're starting your day off perfectly. But what if, without even realizing it, you're actually working against your own body? It happens all the time, and we're about to find out why.
And that really leads to the biggest question of all, doesn't it? With all the noise out there from gurus and influencers, how are you supposed to know what's real science and what's just a myth? Today, we're going to give you the tools to tell the difference. All right, let's get right to the heart of the matter. We're not just going to list off a bunch of random myths. Instead, we're going to tackle the biggest, most common one head on. We'll look at why it's so sticky and uncover a truth that's way more empowering.
And here it is. The big one. The idea that to be healthy, you have to cut out all sugar and all carbs. I mean, this myth causes so much stress and confusion, and honestly, it's just wrong. The reality is so much more interesting. It's not about cutting things out completely. It's about understanding how you eat, when you eat, and what you eat your foods with.
Now, to really get why that myth is so off base, we need to peek under the hood a little bit and look at the science. But don't worry, I promise this won't be a boring biology lecture. We're going to make these ideas super simple and easy to grasp. Okay, so you've probably heard this term before, insulin resistance. Here's a really easy way to think about it. Imagine insulin is a key, and your body's cells are doors with little locks. Normally, the key slides in, the door opens, and glucose, that's energy from your food, goes into the cell. Perfect. But with insulin resistance, it's like the locks get all rusty. The key has a really tough time opening the door. So that glucose gets stuck outside, building up in your bloodstream. So how do we figure out which foods might cause a bigger traffic jam of glucose? Well, that's where the glycemic index, or GI, comes in handy. It's not a rule book, it's just a tool. Think of it this way. High GI foods are like a Ferrari. They're super fast and cause a quick spike. Low GI foods are more like a steady minivan. They give you a much slower, more gentle release of energy. So here's the whole process in 4 simple steps. You eat something, it turns into glucose in your blood, your pancreas sends out the insulin keys, and those keys unlock the cell doors to let the energy in. It's an amazing, elegant system designed to fuel you. The problems only start when something throws this beautiful system out of whack. And this is where things get really interesting. Because it's not just about food, not at all. There are these other powerful, kind of secret triggers that can send your blood sugar on a roller coaster, and most people totally overlook them. Yeah, take a look at this list. Stress and a bad night's sleep are huge. When you're stressed or exhausted, your body pumps out cortisol. That's your fight or flight hormone. That hormone tells your liver, hey, release a bunch of stored sugar. We need energy now. And it does this even if you haven't eaten a single bite. It's your body trying to save you from a threat that, in modern life, is probably just a deadline or a traffic jam. And that brings us to something called the dawn phenomenon. This explains that frustrating mystery of why you might wake up with high blood sugar. See, in the wee hours of the morning, your body releases hormones to help you wake up. It's like your body's natural alarm clock. It's giving you a little shot of fuel to start the day. But for some of us, that fuel release is a little too much and our numbers are higher. It's a totally natural process. Okay, so we've covered a lot of the why. Now let's get to the good part, the how. How can we turn all this knowledge into real power? This is all about simple, practical habits that can give you so much more control. Remember that quote from the beginning about messing up your blood sugar first thing in the morning? Well, this is it. This is how it happens. If you start your day with just a pastry or a sugary cereal, you're setting yourself up for a huge spike and a nasty crash. But a smarter habit, like having some eggs with avocado, balances things out with protein and fat. That slows everything down for a nice, gentle, stable rise in energy. And here are a few more super simple but crazy effective habits. Never eat a carb alone. Give it a buddy, like some protein or fat. A quick 10-minute walk after you eat tells your muscles to sop up all that glucose. Drink your water. And seriously, just taking a minute to do some deep breathing can calm that cortisol response. Small things, big results. So let's bring this all home. The goal here isn't about being perfect. It's about getting clear.
It's about finally moving past all those confusing, fear-based myths and actually empowering yourself with real knowledge about your own body.
You know, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Understanding the why changes everything. When you know why a walk after dinner helps, or why a stressful day can affect your numbers, you're not just blindly following rules anymore. You're in the driver's seat. You're making smart choices for you. And so I'll leave you with this question to think about. After everything we've talked about, what's one old myth, one piece of bad advice that you can just decide to leave behind starting today? Because that's where real change begins.
And of course, just a quick reminder that all of this is for educational purposes. It is definitely not a substitute for professional medical advice. So please always talk to a qualified healthcare professional about your own needs.